I'm Jane Stevenson for Sun Media, and this is Extra Extra. Well, Bennifer, also known as J-Lo and Ben Affleck, are back together again, and nobody could be happier than the folks who like to watch what new couples, in this case an old couple, are doing in public. Recently the couple went out to Nobu in Malibu for J-Lo's sister's birthday party and really packed on the PDA, and nobody could be happier than the paparazzi. And speaking of exes, Angelina Jolie and her ex-husband, Johnny Lee Miller, have been hanging out of late. Jolie has been spotted twice in 1 week leaving his Brooklyn apartment, the first time with her son Pax in tow, the second time she was seen going in with a bottle of wine. Make of it what you will, but they have both long since said they are very good friends following this split. They met on the 1995 set of Hackers, married that year, and divorced 5 years later. The latest guest on Demi Lovato's podcast was none other than icon Jane Fonda. Lovato told Fonda during her 2018 near-fatal drug overdose, she had kind of an epiphany where she said, "You're not living your most authentic life." So she came back from that experience, decided to come out as non-binary, which means she has the pronouns they and them, and she seemed to be pretty happy ever since. This kind of revelation made Fonda cry on the air, and the two have become fast friends. And speaking of high-profile guests on talk shows, Paris Jackson, the daughter of Michael Jackson, recently appeared on Red Table Talk. This is the show that's normally hosted by Jada Pinkett Smith, but in this case, this episode was hosted by Willow Smith, the daughter of Jada and Will Smith. The two have a lot in common, having very famous parents, and basically Paris Jackson admitted to Willow that she's kind of suffering from a post-traumatic stress disorder ever since she's been kind of hunted, in quotes, by the paparazzi since she was a small girl. She says she hears has auditory hallucinations as she hears clicking. She's been in therapy for this and other things. Paris, who has dated men and women, also admitted to Willow that she's kind of been getting the cold shoulder from some members of her family due to their religion, but both of her brothers, also the offspring of Michael Jackson, have been very supportive. Real Housewife of Beverly Hills castmate Erika Jayne has recently had to downgrade where she lives. She was used to living in a 10,000 square foot Beverly Hills mansion. She's now living in a 2,000 square foot home outside of Beverly Hills. The reason is she recently divorced her lawyer husband, who's been accused of embezzling over $2 million from his clients. If you watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they've been kind of teasing this in the plot so far, but we have yet to see what Erika has to say about these allegations. Is Queen Elizabeth living her best life? Since losing her husband, Prince Philip, after a 70-plus year marriage, the Queen has been out and about in a variety of public appearances. Most recently, she hosted the G7 leaders, and when she was speaking to the Australian Prime Minister, he mentioned to her that everybody was talking about her last night at dinner. She said, "Oh Lord, really?" And he said, "Yes, you've been kind of a hit of this event." Let us know what you think on Facebook and Twitter about all of these stories, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.